Hey all, Kyle here, AA0Z. There is a place in the US that is very interesting in the POTA world. It's got the potential to be the only six fur in the United States. The only other place that I know of that comes close to this is a fifer, and that is in Washington, D.C. If you don't know what a fifer or a three or a two fur is, it's basically where multiple POTA entities come together at one or more locations. Now, per the POTA rules, you need to have your system, which is basically your radio, your antenna, and yourself, within the bounds of each POTA park for your activation to count. And so I'm going to put a link below to the actual rules. So I'm suggesting that you read the rules and not take this video as fact on rules about POTA activations. But there are many national trails within the lower 48 which are POTA entities. The rule is from today, October 2023, you need to be 100 feet from the trail to activate. Now, behind me is the National Park Service website for the National Trail System. Let's dive into this map and take a look, and I'm thinking you're going to see some interesting stuff on this map that is going to point us to possibly this six fur location. So let's click on this first link, the National Trails System web map, and that is going to redirect us to this National Park System link. It's going to automatically take us there. And if it doesn't pop up oh, there it is. It wants us to agree to the above conditions. You click OK. So here is basically all of the national trails within the lower 48. So you can see quite a bit of trails. Not all of these are POTA entities, and there's a lot of overlap. You can see here around the Kansas City area, there's some overlap down here. Near Cape Girardeau, there's some overlap. We've got some overlap down here in the Washington area. But there is a place over here in Wyoming where there is quite a bit of overlap. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you every single trail, and we're going to isolate that trail, and we're going to figure out where it goes through in this place in Wyoming. And we're going to take a look to see if this is actually, we can actually activate this as a six fur. All right, switch sides to over here so you can see a little bit better. And going to highlight some of these trails, and we're going to work through them here. So the first one is this Mormon Pioneer Trail, and that is K4573. You can see that it starts here in southeast Iowa and travels across Nebraska, comes into Wyoming, looks like it ends in Salt Lake City. So that's the first trail that I wanted to highlight. Second trail was the Oregon Trail. It is K4576, starts in Kansas City, rolls through Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, continues into Idaho, and then ends somewhere around Portland. And you can see that it actually comes down through Wyoming and continues through Wyoming and to Idaho. The next one that I want to take a look at is this Pony Express. So the Pony Express starts north of Kansas City, again, goes through Kansas, Nebraska, comes through Wyoming, Salt Lake City, Utah, Nevada, and ends in San Francisco. I think we probably all learned that in grade school. And the last trail is the California Trail. And that trail is kind of all over, as you can see in the light blue. It's some of it starts in Kansas City, north of Kansas City, somewhere around Lincoln, Nebraska. It's got many tentacles that come out and comprise the trail, and then ends up in California and also goes up to Oregon. So one of the places that is interesting is over here in Wyoming. There's quite a bit of overlap with all of those trails. So let me turn these trails on. Got the Mormon, got the Oregon and the Pony Express. So as I turn these trails on, you can't really see, but they are overlapping. Seems like the California Trail kind of covers everything up. So here is the Mormon Trail again. Here is the Oregon Trail in orange, the Pony Express Trail in green, and then let's turn on the California Trail again in light blue. So there's a spot over here that all of those trails overlap. So let's take a look at this place. It's along Highway 28, and let me just turn off all of these locations again. So now we've got the Pony Express highlighted. Let's go up to the Oregon Trail. So that same line turns orange for the Oregon Trail. Let's turn on the Mormon Trail. It turns green or light green for the Mormon Trail. And then let's turn on the California Trail, and it turns blue for the California Trail. So I think that we're onto something, that there is a place around here that all of these trails intersect. And it's right around in this area. So there's two more entities that we need to figure out here that are in this area that make this a 6-fer. So next on the list is K6161, Continental Peak BLM Herd Management Area. Now, I've done some research, and I cannot find a lot of information on this BLM land. So if you know a good location to find information on where BLM land starts and stops, I am on the BLM land website, and this thing is a mess, an absolute mess. So if you scroll in here and take a look at some of these locations, it will tell you a bunch of information, but it's not going to tell you the name of the BLM land location. So we are going to basically take this one as fact on this is K6161. If you have any other ideas on where I can find some information, be more than happy to hear your opinion. But as we scroll through some of the info here, you can see that it really doesn't yield a lot of information about the actual name or the boundaries of the Continental Peak BLM land. So we're going to take this one as fact. I mean, there's a ton of BLM land in Wyoming, and I'm sure that at some point, we are in BLM land, and this last POTA location will seal the fate on it's going to be the 6th location, the 6-fer, to complete the 6-fer, and that is K6194, False Parting of the Ways BLM Interpretive Site in Wyoming. You can see that it's on Highway 28 here, and if we take a look at the map, it is at this turnoff. So keep that in mind. See this long turnoff here that is on Highway 28. That is where the monument is located. So if you take a look at Google Maps here, here's the monument there. Let's go back and take a look at, let's get out of street view. Let's take a look at some of the pictures here. You can see that it's got some monuments here. And this turnoff is where all of these other trails come through. Let's see if we can scroll in. See this turnoff right here? This is where those trails, let's scroll out. So right here, where that 28 is about where those monuments are at. And if we take all of the layers off, we can see that the Pony Express goes through there, the Oregon Trail goes through there, the Mormon Pioneer Trail goes through there, and then also the California Trail goes through there too. It's part of K6161 Continental Peak, and then also the false parting of the ways, which is K6194. So I think we found our six-fer. It is in the middle of Wyoming, basically south, central, western part of Wyoming. It's not a lot out there, but I believe if you can get out there, I think you might have a six-fer on your hand. So if you think this is really a six-fer, or if you don't think it's a six-fer, leave a comment in the chat. I don't know. It's up for debate. You can be the judge and submit your logs if you're out that way, if this is really a six-fer. But I'm sure that there's going to be a huge debate on if this is really 6 parks that come together at that one location. You can be the judge. So just wanted to show that. Thanks, everyone. 73.